Yeah, just addressing the chat because the whole thing is for I don't know if he Ankimator is watching again, but this is basically my way to have an idea behind the thoughts that I have. So the media that I consume, I'm basically reviewing, and I'm reviewing for the future because I basically create videos from it and then post it on my channel. Yeah, thank you so much for being here and just going past my stream, but that was my idea. So when I was like focused on talking about a topic, I'm basically creating a video. That's why I couldn't respond to you. But yeah, I guess that happens. So let's go to the another one. Welcome to a great episode that I really wanted to do it about it. I finished this game, I think 2 months ago. I bought it last year. I bought it basically on release because I'm sucker for Atlas and for the games they make. And the game that we're gonna talk about today is Metaphor ReFantazia. I love this game. 9 out of 10. Out of the gate. Almost perfect. Because I grew up playing Persona 4. I played Persona 4, then Persona 3. Waited years. Released Persona 5. I played Persona 5. And I started to play the Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. And yeah, that was fine. But the whole thing is, when I learned about the metaphor, I think was in the Xbox trailer, like Xbox blah blah blah. I was hooked because of the idea of revolution and a new world that is finally not just Persona or Shin Megami Tensei. It was great for me. Again, thank you IGN for the gameplay. And the whole game was beautiful. Love the dynamics, love the characters, love the battle system, and love the road trip vibe that you have from this game because you're basically running across the world doing this competition. So let's rewind and go back. What is Metaphor ReFantazio? Metaphor ReFantazio is an RPG, a Jain RPG, so you have battles in turns, and is basically a Persona like type of game. But the story is way more grand and more impactful ish than the usual Persona. Because Persona, you're very isolated in a country, in a city. So, for example, in Persona 5, that is one of the most famous Atlas game of all time, you're basically on that city. You hang out with your friends, you create bounds, you create social links, and then you're going up against minor crimes out of your society. In Metaphor ReFantazio, you're starting the game as a nobody that wants to solve a murder attempt against a prince. And you're going to that city that you don't know anybody, trying to find an informant, secret agent of your congregation ish, for trying to solve the problem, trying to solve the prince's murder. And then you're just start your adventure, and then of course, you're the chosen one. You're the special one that have like a very special type of magic because nobody can use magic alone. They needed to use like items to summon the magic itself. But you're special. You can use your archetype. Basically, you can use your persona because they they function functionality of those ones are very similar. But a good thing about Metaphor, different than Persona, is you can customize your archetypes from your party. So you don't need to, uh, for example, you don't your in Persona you can always change your personas, but you cannot change your party members. This in this game you can. So you can make a scramble. You can make everyone a tank. You can make everyone a healer, everyone a mage, or a combination of it. Everyone a thief, and that's very fun because you open up way more opportunities and way more types of strategies that you can use in battle. And here you have your basically battle screen, so you can attack, you can use your archetype that is basically your magic-ish, your summon. You can make an attack together with your group. And the whole thing about this is basically they took the Persona 5 type of battle and improving on it. And they mix it with the Shin Megami Tensei, because those shards are Shin Megami Tensei like, but the battle strategy is Persona like. So in the middle of the battle, Persona you basically attack. If you're crit or if you're hit a target weakness, you can always attack again, one time. But in this one, you have those shards. That is basically the amount of people that you have in your party. So if you have three shards, it's basically you have 3 people in your party. But if you're hit a weakness, instead of you're losing a crystal, you lose half crystal. So you can basically act twice. So you can, instead of acting 4 times, that is the max. So you have the protagonist plus 3. You have 4 shards. Instead of attacking 1 each, if your composition of your party is great and your strategy is on point, you can act 8 times, not 4 and 4. But not just that, because you have stronger abilities that you can basically do like a dual summon and make a stronger attack, but it's going to cost you 2 moves. But if you hit the weakness, instead of 2, it's going to cost half and half. So you can still do it again or attack more times. And this game is hard. It's I'm not going to say that it's hard, like very, very hard, but the learning curve is steep. So you're playing the game easily. I mean, I played the game easily until like midpoint, because the whole point is you go in. So the midpoint of the game, after the midpoint of the game, the curve was basically a vertical climb of difficulty. Even if I was farming, even if I was doing like every side mission, sometimes I still hit a brick wall and I just, okay, I'm going back to farming and come back again later. But the continuing the story is you go there, some random things happen, and you're basically running for the next king of the country. And that's a brilliant premise, because now, instead of just being a high schooler, instead of just being like a person lost in the apocalypse that is the Shin Megami Tensei, you're a person running for king. So you need to visit different countries, different countries, like different provinces, trying to raise it up your status, because you start as a nobody, and the game plays on, and in the end, of course you're the main character, so you needed to be the king. You're growing your bonds and you're growing the relationships with the people, so you're becoming more known. And that's great, because you have so many, in this game they touch in so many different points. I don't want to spoil that much, So that's why I'm just gonna take like a reference. I'm not going to explain on details, but you can talk about honor with Stroll. You can talk. I mean, Stroll honor is Stroll is more like obligation. You can talk about honor with with the Hugenberg. You can talk about difference on ideologies with this guy with Hemsing. I don't know. I don't recall his name, but the topic with him is fulfillment because he's a creator, so it's more about fulfillment. And every single character that you meet on the game, they touch on a different point of the society that we live on it. And the beautiful part is the huge monsters that you fight against it. They call it humans. So that is a punch in the guts, basically trying to express themselves and saying, "You see, humans, we are the monsters in this world." And the funny part is, since you have a lot of different races, guess another topic they talk about: racism. Literally racism because of the different types, and you're an elder child, so you're basically the more human-like species that you have there, so everybody hates you. And that is a great premise for a game. And the game just goes on and on. Of Atlas games, the relationship I think was one of the easiest ones to complete. I usually try to make the social link, basically the relationship between the party members, the highest possible. In this game, I done it without even trying. At my first gameplay, I was friend with every single character on the game that you can be friends of in the max level. And that is a huge thing for me because I never make it on Persona or in Shin Megami Tensei, because usually you needed to finish the game it a first time so you can have like all your status on the max, so you can unlock easier ways to talk with your comrades, because most of the time when you get like a level 5 or level 6 of the social link there, they're gonna ask, oh, you need to be more bold, or you need to have like more intelligence to talk with the people to push the story forward. But in this game, the rhythm of the things was so good that I basically, I mean, I faced some walls saying, "Oh, you need to increase your intelligence." Yes, but since I don't have intelligence now, I'm gonna talk to this another character, and increase my social link with them instead, and that worked beautifully. It looks like they nailed it perfectly, the timing of the social links events, because every single day I have a new thing to do, I have a new thing to explore, I have a new status that I want to upgrade, and the rhythm of the game was awesome. And the game goes basically, you this is a human, so you walk around the city, you talk with people, you can buy items, and you have a calendar as well, like every good Atlas game. And every Sunday ish, because they name it Sunday a different name, you have discounts on all the markets, so you can program yourself like to trying to visualize your route into the dungeon, get out of the dungeon, goes back to the city, and buy the stuff on the same calendar days, because going to a dungeon and out takes time. And that's awesome because you're not just like taking a train, you're just walking there or taking your huge car there. And then everyone have, so the main character is the only, so the how can I say that, the weapons that you can use change with your archetype, so everybody can wield anything. You change your archetype, You change your weapons and everything. For me, I max out since I max out all the social links, all my archetypes was in the max. Like I achieved the best archetype, like the main archetype, max level for every one of my companions, and it was great. And the graphics, the whole world, it was so beautiful to look at it. The menus, the transition between menus, the whole set pieces. Look at it. The menus, the style that you have on this game is amazing. Every single thing about these games round oozes style, oozes care, because you see how different it is the menus, and when you go down you see like different parts of the body or different faces, and you see different artwork, and I love this artwork. And I love the idea of you're showing the characters because they are different species. And the fun part is, since you're the main character and you need to unite the kingdom, all of your party is a different species. And to see the difference in attitudes and the difference of gameplay and the difference of the stories and the culture that you find on those ones are great. Again, the anime part, I'm not gonna even tell. Beautiful as always. Love it every single second. And the idea of archetypes, that is because you're the main character, so your power is basically you can make the other person's, how can I say, uncover their true selves, kind of like a persona, like find their goal in life ish, that release their archetype. And look at this. Look at it. Tell me that is not stylized, oozing style, oozing personality. Because I'm terrible with names, but I remember this guy, shit. And I can still recall like the situations, recall the powers, and the music is amazing. I cannot put it here because I'm afraid they're gonna copyright strike the video. But listen to the music yourself. Again, it's from Persona and from Shin Megami Tensei, so you know that the music is gonna be amazing. And I cannot sing more praises about this game. Oh, I forget to say they implemented like a real time battle phase. Instead of just going, you can, if you have a higher level, you can hit the monsters and kill them even without going onto this phase. And they released it on my birthday, November 10th. I love it. And all of those things, you see so much care. And that's why for me, Metaphor ReFantazio is a easy 9.5. I cannot give a 10 because, let's see, why not I cannot give a 10? Fuck it, it's my channel. I give Metaphor ReFantazia a 10 because I cannot. Oh, I know why I cannot give a 10. I'm gonna give them a 9.5 because I'm pretty sure 3 years from now they're gonna release a Metaphor ReFantazia Final Cut or Metaphor ReFantazia Discovery that is gonna expand the world. You're gonna add like new characters and everything, and it's gonna be like a final definitive version, like Atlas always does with their games, like Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5, Persona 5 Royal, uh, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. This is gonna be Metaphor ReFantazia Fantasy again, or crazy shit like that. So that's why I'm not gonna give it a 10 because it's not a complete game from Atlas. That's a pain in the ass, but I love every second of that game. I put like more than 100 hours on it, and doesn't feel like it. So if you can and you like RPGs, I couldn't recommend more. And again, this is my opinion. And as always, thank you so much for listening to me. And remember, uh, what I can tell about Metaphor ReFantazio is my experience with it. So please leave the comment, tell me what you think about the game. And most important of it is remember to be which mm, how can I say remember to be kind. I think this is the most important message of Metaphor Fantasia because sometimes people are lost and just being kind with them you can goes a long way. And that's why for me I think is a good thing that you can learn with Metaphor. And yeah, thank you so much. See you on the next one. Bye.